All right. Hello, Cozy Mystery fans. My name is Matthew Berger. I am one of the co owners of Mysterious Galaxy here in San Diego, and I'm very excited to introduce our conversation partners today. We've got Joanne Fluke, author of the Hannah Swenson Mysteries, who I know you all are very excited to get a chance to hear from and ask questions of. And her conversation partner today is Tami Chase. Hi, Tiffany. I'm just going to do a brief housekeeping, and then we will get to the conversation. So if you haven't used Crowdcast before, a couple things to know. First of all, as many of you have discovered, there's a chat to the right side or below. If you're using the mobile app, feel free to discuss and talk to fellow Joanne Fluke fans. If you want to ask a question for Joanne, use the Ask a Question tab at the bottom. Go ahead and put it in there. And if you're in the crowd and you see a question you want to make sure gets answered, hit the upvote button, and that will help determine the order of the questions being answered. And of course, we're all here because we love the books and we want to buy them. So if you want a signed and personalized copy of Pink Lemonade Cake Murder, which comes out July 25th, hit that button down below to get it from Mysterious Galaxy. Let's see. I think that is most of the housekeeping. So I'm going to pass it off to Tami, and I will see you all in about an hour.
Sounds good. Hello, everybody, and hello, Joanne.
Hi, Tami.
As always. Are you melting over there? I'm melting. That is why it's 95. Yes. In my office, I think it's 95. I turned my air off so it wouldn't be so loud. But we have, well, first of all, Joanne, for all of you that don't know, she is a New York Times bestselling author with 28, 29 plus, hard to keep track with the novellas and the cookbook, depending on what you count. But so happy to have you here, even though it's hot. We have people North Carolina, Missouri, Kansas, Wisconsin, Illinois, Ohio, Las Vegas, Niagara Falls, Mississippi. It's crazy. I probably shouldn't complain because it's probably more humid there. But how are you faring over there, Joanne?
Oh, we're okay here. I guess it's 118 in Vegas today. I heard that on television. 118? Can you imagine?
No.
No, it's pretty good here. We have the air on, of course.
I have the fan here, so if my makeup starts melting off, it really is melting off. Okay, so we can just get into it. I don't have the copy of the book here, but I have the lovely poster here, which this is, I mean, I know I've said this before, but now this is my favorite cover. Come on, that is the cutest thing ever. And I was like, Barbie's dream home would have this if she had like cozy murder mysteries. I'm pretty sure.
I have one here. Look.
Aww. Okay, well, I'm gonna get mine soon.
Yeah.
Maybe next week at your I'll see at the pre-launch and get to see you there. So tell us a little bit about Pink Lemonade Cake Murder and what's going on in Lake Eden in this book.
Well, of course, Hannah's got problems, family problems in this book, but she's making it. She's okay. And there is a little problem with Mike. Remember Mike? That very, very sexy guy who Cameron plays, Cameron Matheson on the movies. Okay, he's threatening to quit Lake Eden department. He doesn't want to be the head detective anymore. And he doesn't want to be because he wants to go somewhere else. And he's a little upset because Hannah is now seeing a lot of Norman Rhodes, the dentist. And by the way, for you guys that think I wrote a dentist because I'm in love with my dentist, I got to tell you, I'm not. Okay, you got to know this. I like my dentist very much, but not a love interest. Everybody says, ooh, a dentist? Yeah, why not? Exactly. And this is all about Lake Eden and what Hannah is doing with her family. And of course, there's a murder. There's got to be a murder. It's a murder mystery, right?
Right.
Yeah. So there is a murder, and Hannah, of course, has to solve the murder with everybody else's help, including her whole family, including her mother, Dolores, who's, she's okay. Dolores is okay. Dolores wants Hannah to get married, of course. And Andrea, Hannah's sister, and Michelle does not have a big part. Michelle is the youngest sister. Does not have a big part in this book. She'll probably have a bigger part in the next book. But anyway, that's pretty much all I can tell you without giving anything away. And I don't want to give anything away. This is a really good book. I hope everybody enjoys it.
Don't come here for spoilers. Yeah, and there's 12 new recipes in there. Some that are from the fans, some that were from a contest and that we had.
I think there's more than 12, actually. I don't know how many. John, do you know?
I don't, but I guarantee there's a little more than 12.
Yeah, probably about 20 new recipes. And we tested them all. And I have friends that we test them on, and they enjoy coming over on Thursdays for Girls Afternoon, and we test all the recipes to make sure they work. So you don't have to worry about recipes.
I've made some.
Yes.
I share them with my neighbors, and they're always like, "Oh, is this another recipe from?" Secret.
Okay, didn't you make the one with the popcorn?
We have some secret things in the book that we'll talk about more. But yes, we have. Since this is, we can say, kind of baseball themed, I guess we could say a little bit, centers around that. Yeah. So this has something to do with that.
It's a summertime book.
It is definitely summertime. Yes, it's hot in Lake Eden, but it never gets all that hot in Minnesota. And remember, Lake Eden's in Minnesota. So, of course, we have mosquitoes, and no, they are not the state bird. Don't ever say that to a person from Minnesota. I made that mistake once, saying it to my friend, a state senator, and he was not happy with me.
Well, you probably have fireflies up there too.
Oh yeah, we have terrible mosquitoes. We have we have flies that actually take bites out of you.
Horseflies.
Horseflies in the North Woods. It's sometimes it's tough to live here, but the people here like it. The winters are gorgeous. They're beautiful. The snow. I will never get used to. I live in California now, as you know, Tami, because and I will never get used to the fact that I won't see Christmas lights glinting off the snow at Christmas, because that is my favorite thing. And it's nice though. It's nice in the summer here. It is not usually that hot, and it's nice. Yeah.
So what was your inspiration behind the town of Lake Eden? Is it based on a town that you grew up in, or is it just it's completely fictional?
It is definitely based on a town I grew up in, but it is really every single Minnesota town I have ever been in my life. They're all like this, little towns. It's the little towns. And I try to set them in little towns. And generally, it's the land of 10,000 lakes and 3 fish, they say. Don't say that to a Minnesotan. But it is. Small towns are different from anything else, I think. And I know when I was a kid, I went around in my small town and we counted all the people because we thought the sign was wrong. Outside it said population. Well, it said POP, P-O-P, period, and then 218. And we didn't think there were 218 people. So we went and counted, and there weren't. There were 207. And we went to my dad, who was the mayor, and we said, there aren't that many people, Dad. We got to change the sign. He said, oh, it's okay, girls. Actually, they just counted all the dogs and the cats. We were satisfied with that answer.
Well, and people have to remember, too, that these stories that you write are based on that time and based on back then. And a lot of times they're like, well, this is outdated, or this is that. But that's what it's about. It's about time in Minnesota then, right? Not like modern times Minnesota.
Yeah, it's sort of, but the small towns haven't changed that much, Tami. I've been back there, and they're really not all that different. Not the really small ones. And I grew up in a town that was not even a town. It was called a village. So, yeah, I mean, really small. And those haven't changed all that much. Everybody is pretty much the same there. But the larger cities, oh, yeah, they've changed an awful lot. Yes.
Well, it's like here. All of our little towns grew, and now they're all joined together. So, it's like in Phoenix, where I grew up, you go drive 20 minutes and you're on your way to California. You are out of town. In California, you drive 20 minutes and you are just on your way. You are headed to wherever you're going. You're almost going to be there, but no. So
this is true. This is very true. In Minnesota, the small towns are sort of like a traffic jam is 3 cars and a tractor.
Yes.
It's not that much. No, it isn't. And it's more rural, so much more rural than I live in California too, as you know, Tami. And it's totally different. It really is.
Mom, how many people in your graduating class?
Oh, my class?
Yeah.
27.
There you go.
We all threw our motorboards up in the air and cheered at the end of it, yes, when we graduated. And then we all went off to do whatever we were going to do. I went to college. Some of my friends did. Other people got jobs, and they worked at, all over the place. And definitely, it's small town living that I write about because it's what I know. I don't think I could write about big cities because I've never lived really that much in an inner city. I visited, and I don't want to live in a big city. So, yeah, I write about small places. Yeah.
So then let's talk about Marsha.
Okay.
Did you used to have a cat like that? Did you have this orange cat? Or is this, again, a compilation of different cats you had, different personality? Maybe that one looks like one, but it has, acts like a different one, or what's the story with that?
Yes, I had a cat that was a lot like Marsha. Did not look like Marsha. My cat was sort of gray colored, and we called him P for pussycat, not for any other reason. But he played ball with my son John when John was, what were you, John, like 4 years old?
Like 4 or 5, yeah.
Yeah, 4 or 5 years old. The cat would roll a ball to John, who was sitting on the floor, and John would roll it back to the cat, and the cat would bat it back. They played ball for, I'd say 20, 25 minutes, right?
Yeah, about that.
Yeah.
Now,
And Moisha, my cat's name, B, he would steal things. And he wanted so badly to kill the vacuum cleaner. The vacuum cleaner, stick his claws in it. Oh, gosh, he hated it. And Marsha does little things like that. Marsha likes to chase the mice. He doesn't really eat them or anything, but he chases them. And Marsha will bury things in places and get into the cabinets that he's not supposed to be in, just like my cat used to do. So, yeah, it's sort of like having a cat again. Don't have one now, but I did for a long time.
When people have pets, they're always like, oh, the owners look like their pets or the pets look like their owners. So Hannah has red hair. Moisha's kind of an orange tabby. Does it have anything to do with that? Or it just happened that way?
Yeah, it just happened that way. Yeah.
Well, see, it's like it's a fate, I guess.
No, I adore that cat. You know, it's almost like sometimes when I'm writing, I really think maybe there is the ghost of P or Marsha in my house. I will listen for the little footfalls and won't hear them and go, well, I guess not, you know.
Oh. Well, so the question that we always have here, Norman or Mike? Who would you choose for Hannah versus who would you choose for Joanne? I know you're gonna not.
I'm not going to tell you who I choose for me. Oh, no. No, but I can tell you one thing. Norman in the movies. Okay, we're talking the movie Norman now. I talk about the movie Hannah, the movie Norman, the movie Mike. In the Hallmark movies, the movie Norman is very attractive. Very, very, and very nice too, by the way. Gabe is a nice person. And, well, Mike, oh my goodness. The first time I met Mike, I'm like, be still my heart. You know, he is gorgeous. He's also married and has kids, you know. But, yeah, for Hannah, I can't choose. I don't know what's going to happen. You know, things happen every book.
Usually,
so I'm not sure.
Usually we're split on here, but only people that are responding are saying Norman. So, yeah.
They want Norman, huh?
You know why? They've never met Cameron Matheson.
That is exactly why. They've never met Cameron. Otherwise, they'd be going, ooh.
The only man I've ever seen that made my mother's knees go weak.
Yes, my knees went weak. This is very true. Yeah, that was really something.
Another Norman. Well, on that note, someone spoke up and said Team Mike. I had a feeling someone might just be not wanting to say because of all the Normans on here, but so I saw an interview the other day with Allison Sweeney and Cameron Matheson and they were talking about another book being made into a movie. And I don't know that we can say anything yet.
That's right.
I know you know.
Yeah, they are.
I don't know. And so I'm not pushing. It's safer that way. So that's very exciting. And I know they've been having a lot of fun up there filming. I know we had Carrot Cake Murder and that was great. I don't know. Is there anything? Can you tell anything, John? Can you say anything, or are we still at no?
You can say what it's loosely based on a certain book, which is Lemon Meringue.
Yeah, Lemon Meringue
It's called
pie.
Zest for Death.
Yes. Zest for Death.
Okay.
And I think they're done filming now. Just finished filming.
Yeah, I think they just finished filming. Yes. You know, they keep inviting me to come up there. They film in Canada. And I keep wanting to go.
I'll take you.
Because, you know why? It's really crazy. I would like to do, remember Alfred Hitchcock used to be in all the films? And he'd just be walking across, you know.
A cameo, yes.
I wanted to be a Hitchcock. I just want to be sitting there in the cookie jar and drinking coffee and, you know, and eating a cookie and just be there. And just be there. I thought that would be so much fun. One of these times, one of these movies, I'm going to do it.
Oh, yes. They're saying do it. That is such a clever idea. I think people would love that, especially for the real, like, you know, diehard Hannah Swenson mystery fans. You know, they would be the ones that would be like get a kick out.
Wait a minute. Is that her? Yeah.
Right?
Oh, no, that's she's actually, she's much older than that. Yeah, right. So, yeah,
no.
makeup, you know.
And it would probably be, I'm guessing, a lot cooler up there. So.
Oh, well,
that's
another reason. Yeah.
This next week would be a good time for that.
It would be.
But yeah, so I don't know. Also, they just did them back to back. Yeah, I wanted to look into it more, but I didn't realize they filmed. I guess that's, I know that soaps, especially, I think, I think he's on General Hospital, right? I think that they take a little bit of time off. And I know that with the writer's strike and the SAG strike does not affect the soap operas, but that would affect filming out, as an actor, and that would affect them promoting it. So
I think the Canadian rules are a little different on that.
Yeah, Canadian rules are different. So we're just, I don't know. John is the one that would know about that.
Yeah, but that's good to know. Now we have something to get excited about. And also, I don't know if we've really talked about, or I don't know, again, if this is a taboo question, but next book title?
Oh, the next title. Yeah, John, do you want to?
Are we allowed?
Yeah, you are. Try again. Pumpkin chiffon book.
Pie.
Pie murder. Sorry, pumpkin chiffon pie.
Okay.
Pumpkin chiffon pie murder. Yes.
Mouthful.
Sorry, John, I put you on the spot.
That's all right. I was babbling.
And then is that going to be, do we know, January?
Oh, no.
No, it won't be till next year. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for right now, Pink Lemonade Cake the Murder is what to buy.
Yeah, Pink Lemonade is definitely something to buy now.
Yes, if you haven't already, there's links on here where you can get a signed copy for everybody that's on here.
I like to sign copies to people.
Yeah, and I know I know it was like while supplies lasted, but you had your little coasters in there, which were cute.
Yeah, I love the coasters, and I like to sign them to people because that way, and sometimes people can't afford to buy a whole book. I mean, I know that times are tough.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing that you can always do is go together with 4 friends. Each of you throws in $5. You go, you buy the book, and you take
right.
It's
and then you do a reading club afterwards. After everybody's done.
Yes, and everybody bakes, and you have a good time. You copy the recipes, and then if you really want to be a good citizen, you can give it to your library because they don't have a very big budget. Or something you could do.
The park up here by our house, and John knows which park I'm talking about. We just went on a walk there last night, and they had one of those book little house things where you can put a book, you read a book and then you bring it back. And sometimes they're in people's front yards. That's a great idea too.
Yes. Oh, definitely.
And I love baking through the books. My stepdad just came to visit, and I gave him a book. It was it was huge, and he read it in 2 days. I'm like, you're supposed to savor it. So with yours, I suggest people are like, I read the whole thing. No, you get up to a recipe and then you make it, and then you can't move on until you make the next recipe.
He probably had a bunch of recipes he wanted you to try.
Yeah, I think it's a great, a great way to work your way through it.
Well, I love to bake, and I grew up in a family of bakers, and my mom wasn't so much a baker. My grandmother was. Oh yeah, definitely a baker.
Pie girl.
Yeah, she used to be called a pie girl. She worked in a big house in Virginia, Minnesota. And they sent her to school during the day, and then she worked in the bakery. It was a house that had a lot of people that came and went to dinner there and things like that. They entertained like crazy, and she was the pie girl. She made the pies, and so Mom and I got the recipes for those. So some of those are in my books too. Yeah.
Mm. Well, and I have this one up in my office because I've been wanting to make this. So I pulled it off the shelf because I'm like, I'm going to make this. So I have it sitting here along with, I pulled my carrot cake murder one down because I want to make the carrot cake too. So I just need to get to it. People are saying they can't put the books down once they start. So, I understand that, but I'm just trying to think outside the box.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, are you ready to move on to the lightning round before we go to
Oh dear. Okay. Now I know I have to. I'll do it, guys.
well, I love to surprise you, and I love to have people get to know you a little bit more, and try to come up with things we haven't asked before. And these are just kind of this or that questions.
Okay.
So we just have about a dozen, actually. Yeah, about a dozen. So here we go. I'm not going to go too fast. Morning person or evening person?
Morning. Definitely morning. I do most of my writing in the morning. I am a morning person. Evening is harder for me. I like evenings. There's nothing wrong with evenings. But morning person. I like to get up early and work.
Okay. I'm a middle of the day. I'm not a big morning or evening person. I fall asleep so easily. And I don't like waking up early. But anyway. Okay, so vacation or staycation?
Oh, vacation, definitely. I mean, I like to go places. I like to see new places. My favorite thing is going on cruises.
There you go, Tami.
I told him, I said, I know what she's going to pick. And if she picks that, my second question is cruise ship or airplane? But I knew the answer.
Cruise, definitely cruise. I love to be on the water. I think that comes from Minnesota, I do believe, because it's, as I said, land of 10,000 lakes and
and the food, I mean.
But no, I like to be on the water. I really do. And I like to go on those cruises. And I generally do go, and I generally give a little, I'll do this little program about writing when I'm there. And people have such a good time. I get to meet all these people that are like fans, or they're trying to write or whatever. And I am so happy to help them. This is a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
And you like they make things and you like look at them and deconstruct them, and you bring your bear with you.
Oh yeah.
Sven.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Sven has on your JoanneFluke.com site, I think we had, when he was traveling, we had his little photos and the different cruises he went on.
Oh yeah, John puts all those up. I'm very lucky. I don't have to do any of this. It's wonderful to have a son that actually knows how to do stuff like that.
Yeah, you got to give us some more content. So you need to so you can kill two birds with one stone. Just take a cruise up to Canada to be in one of the movies.
It's going to be hard to. Well, no, yes, I could. I could take a cruise up, definitely. Yeah.
Then see.
Next.
Okay. This is probably a no-brainer, but Marsha or Cuddles?
Marsha. Cuddles is darling. I mean, I really think Cuddles is sweet, but Marsha's a character. I kind of like animals that are characters, like cats and dogs too. I mean, my dogs have all been characters, and my cats have been too. So Cuddles is just this darling, sweet kitty, and everybody should have a kitty like Cuddles, I think.
And Cuddles
is a little harder to handle, yeah.
And Cuddles was passed around a little bit.
Yeah.
So everybody got to enjoy Cuddles. Okay. So cooking or being cooked for?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Cooking? Do you like to cook, or do you like people to cook for you? Like you go on the cruise, and you get all this food, and
I like to bake. I also like to cook, but not as much as baking. Yeah. I mean, there's a little difference there. I'm not as good doing meats and things like that.
That's how I feel.
As I am doing the baking. I'd rather, I think, do the baking. And my mom was that way but she was also a good cook. So I try to be a good cook. One thing that I found absolutely wonderful, crock pots. Yes. I love crock pots. Do you have one, Tammy?
Yes.
Yeah. And what I like to do is I like to put like onions at the bottom, spray it with Pam or something, put onions at the bottom, and then put meat on top of that. And right before I go to bed, I'll turn it on low. And when I wake up in the morning, it smells so good in the house.
Mm-hmm.
And then I know what I'm going to make out of it, whether I'm going to make spaghetti sauce or whether I'm going to, soup or whatever I'm going to do.
Wow,
It really, crock pots are a wonderful invention. Okay, everybody out there, go buy a crock pot.
It's my winter go-to. But I am into air fryers right now. My mom just bought me one, and it's so hot right now, and turning on the oven after you get off work is like ridiculous. So the air fryer is like half the time, and so it's great for heating up leftovers too. So if you get leftovers and you know how you try and heat up leftovers and they're not very good, but the air fryer like brings them back to life. So
somebody else told me that, and I don't have one. Maybe that's what I'll ask for Christmas.
There you go. I've been trying different things.
Saying yes, maybe. Yeah, he's listening.
I tried making cookies in there, and that wasn't the greatest because you have to like flip them. But it worked. I mean, you have to flip them, so.
Although you can make a cake in a crock pot if you work at it right.
Yes.
You can.
You can make applesauce in a crock pot. Like my sister does that, and like there's so many different,
Oh,
things.
Wonderful. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, I digress. This is not a very lightning round.
Okay.
Okay. Letter or email? Would you rather get a letter or an email? Like a physical.
Ooh, that's hard. Email.
Wow. Okay.
John read it to me. I don't see all that well now.
I pictured you as a letter in the mail kind of a person.
She'd write a letter, but she likes to receive emails.
Yes, exactly. I would write the letter back.
Yeah.
But, yes, but I would like to receive the email because then he could read it to me.
There you go. Okay, so I thought, there are some, not just men, but sports fans on here. So basketball or baseball? And this, you might be a little bit,
Baseball, play baseball. Oh, yes. Yes.
So then, favorite food at a game then, popcorn or hot dog?
Hot dog. I like hot dogs with mustard. I like a lot of mustard.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually this book, right, John, has got some baseball things in it.
Yeah. Cotton candy popcorn.
Cotton candy popcorn.
This is melting in here. It's so hot that the popcorn's getting kind of squishy, but it is so good, and it's in there, and it's very, very easy and very tasty.
Oh, it's so easy to make. You wouldn't believe it. And like it asks, some of these recipes will ask for something like, they'll ask for popcorn salt, but you don't really have to. If you don't have any, you don't have to use that. You could just put in regular salt. A lot of these things. And I'll give you tips in there when I'm writing with the recipes. Like sometimes, okay, the real recipe, you should probably use such and such, but you don't really have to if you don't want to. There's a shortcut, or there's a shortcut here. If you don't want to peel all those potatoes, you can get, something else. You can get like French fries, or you can, whatever.
And these are supposed to be, some of them are complicated. Mm-hmm. They are. But some of them are also like time-saving, easy, same kind of results, but
I like those. I really like those. Yeah, the type ones. Yeah.
So with that said, brand name or generic?
That's a toughie.
Nice,
generic. I want to make sure that you don't have to get a brand name, because sometimes brand names, like for instance, Oregon pie filling, used to make a gooseberry. they don't make it anymore. And if I had written a recipe for the gooseberries, which I didn't, but I mean, if I had, then people go, well, you can't make that anymore. But if you say you can use this or this, like give a choice, then people can actually do the recipe without getting exactly what's called. Yeah. And that's what I like to do.
We get that question a lot. It calls for pecans. Can I use walnuts? Yes.
There's only one thing.
Peanuts, but it might not taste the same.
There is one thing there is no substitute for. I got to tell everybody, I'm sorry. There is no substitute for rhubarb. None. Absolutely none.
I thought you were going to say butter.
Yeah.
Oh, well, butter, of course. Yes. I mean, how could you go?
As far as I'm concerned.
Wrong with plenty of butter and sugar and oh my goodness.
Well, Minnesota dairy farmers.
Oh yes.
Oh.
When I was a little kid, they used to make margarine, but it was white, and you would have a capsule in it that it was yellow dye, and you have this little bag inside, and you have to break the capsule, and then you went like this with your fingers, and you were just trying to do it so it looked like butter, and it was awful.
How many people ate that capsule? That's what I want to know.
I don't like that stuff.
Okay, 3 more lightning rounds, and then we're going to go on to some of the questions that people posted. Okay. Oh my goodness, our question count went way up. Okay, the last one, real lightning round. Okay, attend a party or host a party?
Go to a party or have one here.
I know. I'm trying to think. That's a hard one. Go.
Okay. Hot coffee or cold tea?
Oh, hot coffee.
And then last but not least, Hallmark Christmas movies or Hallmark Murders and Mysteries?
Hallmark what?
Christmas movies on Hallmark or murder mysteries
That's a giveaway, Mom.
Like Murder, She Baked.
Murder, She Baked. Yes. Yes.
Who'd have thought? Okay, so let's get to some of these questions really quick. I know some have been added on to here. Do you enjoy the movies made from your books? Yes, of course.
Yes. Yes, I do. And it's kind of fun because, I mean, we usually have something going on here when there's a new movie. People will come over and we'll all watch it together. It's a lot of fun.
Watch party. And we already touched on this. Do you personally make the recipes? Yes, we all make them, and it's a combination. They said, do you come up with them or other people? Well, if it's a contest like we had, there are some contest recipes in there that other people came up with.
Yes, that's absolutely right. People will give me, they will write to me and they will give me their favorite recipes, and I so appreciate that. I've got, it's got to be.
And you mentioned them.
30 shoe boxes full of recipes in the corner of my kitchen that people have sent me, and I will try them because sometimes they're wonderful. I mean, people will send me these old family recipes that, oh my goodness, they're good. Yeah. And I'll put them in a book, and
exactly. So if there's some random name that seems like, why did you come up with this name? Well, it's probably connected to the person that the recipe.
I always do that. If they want me to use their name, I never use the last name usually. Yeah. But I'll say, this is from Donna in Nebraska, or this is from Lisa in Japan.
Michelle's college friend.
Michelle's college friend.
Jenny R.
Yeah. Oh, one time I did it one time, and that lady was so pleased. Oh, she came to a signing. She was so happy. You used my recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just wonderful. And it was a great recipe.
Yeah, well, that's great. And, and then too, you get recipes from all over, to kind of come together, and family recipes are, they just go generation to generation. So we might have touched on this before, but why aren't the movies called Murder, She Baked anymore? Now they're Hannah Swenson Mysteries, which makes perfect sense.
Well, they used to be called Murder, She Baked, but I don't know why they do that.
Different production company, Mom.
Yeah, it's a different production company. That's part of it.
And it ties in closer to the books. And then there, Sarah was also asking the mass market paperback edition, probably for Pink Lemonade Cake Murder. Is that usually a year later, John, or 6 months? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's 11 months. 11 months later.
11 months later. Okay.
Usually.
Yeah. Okay.
It has been with every other book, so as far as I know, they haven't changed that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we're getting kind of questions that are like, does a recipe or dessert like spark your imagination for a part of the story, or does it kind of work the other way around? You write the story and then look for a recipe that goes with that?
It's some of one and some of another. I mean, really, it is. Once in a while, I will get a recipe that just knocks my socks off, and then I'll want to work it into the book. And so I'll write a little something about it in the book.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't necessarily mean it has something to do with the plot. You know, sometimes it's a new drink that Norman is making and serving at one of Dolores's little parties in her
Penthouse.
beautiful penthouse. Yes.
Yeah.
A garden by the pool, and whatever, you know. I mean, it's just it depends. I can't really tell you.
Yeah, sometimes
you know.
Sometimes there are recipes mentioned, like, or not recipes, things like you said, like a drink that's, you know, talked about but not necessarily in the book. We get that question a lot about, where's this recipe from, you know, whatever Murder, She Baked.
Oh, okay.
And we're like, that doesn't really exist. It's not really
I can give you a clue on that. Okay. If every word in the recipe is capitalized, but the recipe isn't there, it means it was in a previous book.
Okay.
Try to do that, you know, unless the editor changes it or somebody changes it. But that's what I try to do.
But the films make their own.
But
yeah, the films make fictitious recipes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the people are asking up in here, when is the new cookbook coming out? And I know that's a Kensington thing. So we always ask them to write in and say, hey, can you make a new cookbook? Because we would say yes, right?
Yeah, it's yes. Write in and say we want another cookbook. I definitely have enough recipes for it.
Oh yeah,
I like to put them all in one place. I think that's great. And you know, I keep thinking, well, you know, when I end up getting really old, maybe John will do it rather with the rest of the recipes, because there are enough recipes to make another Lake Eaton cookbook.
Another two.
Huh? Another two? You think?
Oh, for sure.
Woo! Okay.
Tami, don't you think?
Yeah, two more. Yeah, we probably have enough for that.
I'm going to have to be 130.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. People are asking how many more in the series. I think that, you know, forever, until as long as you can.
I'm just going to keep going.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I'll keep going.
Yeah,
Hannah's story is not finished. You know, it's just Hannah keeps having all these experiences, so I got to write about it. You know.
Yeah. And okay, so that was a top asked question. So I wanted to make sure we got that in there. Let's see. Do you have a favorite recipe from the series? I know what John's going to say, what his is.
Yes, I have a favorite recipe. And that recipe actually was a mistake. I got to tell you, it was a mistake, Tami. It was, I was making chocolate chip cookies, and something happened.
Ran out of flour.
I ran out of something. Oh, nuts. It was nuts. I ran out of nuts. And usually chocolate chip cookies have nuts in them. Well, I didn't have any nuts. And I went, oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? So I crushed up cornflakes and put them in
Those are the best.
cookies. And those are the chocolate chip.
Crunch.
Yep, chocolate chip crunch cookies.
Yes.
Yep,
There's-
it was an accident.
And that's probably in your first book.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some
Cookie
of
murder.
the recipes are accidents. I discover something and go, oh my gosh, I don't have that, but I can't go to the store right now. So,
I know, right?
I wonder if this will work. Wonder if I can use pancake mix instead of flour. I do stuff like that.
Whippersnappers, Mom?
See, I knew he was going to say that. I was going to ask, what's John's favorite?
It's
Whippersnappers.
Whippersnappers, yes, I love them too. Yes.
I knew. I was going to ask him, but he. Okay, let's see. Yes, we answered. Will there be another Murder She Baked movie? We said it's the lemon
meringue pie.
Lemon meringue pie.
It's called a Zest for Death.
Zest.
Zest for Death. That's right. I love lemon meringue pie.
So do
And
I.
I have. Yeah, so I'll have to revisit the book and see what you have going in there. I love to. I don't know about your crust recipe in there, but I love to add sugar into my crust, and that really helps.
Yes. I mean, do some experimentation when you're baking if you feel like it. I mean, everybody can do that. And sometimes you'll discover something and say, why have I not ever done this before? Because it's better. So
Yeah.
Just try something,
Somebody's asking, when will you have a Kringle recipe? They're popular in Wisconsin. I'm not sure exactly what they're referring to, but isn't that I think I call them I thought those were like the Kringle, the chocolate ones that have the powdered sugar and they crinkle. Is that not what they're talking about? Is Kringle something else?
I don't know.
You're going to have to ask them to explain it.
Huh?
Okay.
That's from Wisconsin, so.
Yeah.
Okay, she's got to send me a recipe, please.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay,
whoever it is, send me that recipe. I don't have one.
Yeah, I'm trying to see who that was. Okay. This is a good one. Did you have any idea when you started out that the series would go on this long and be so popular?
No, I had no idea. I really didn't. I knew, it was really funny because I had a bunch of people over to the house and my husband was downstairs and there were a bunch of people down there and I was just finishing up the first book and I had just finished writing the last words and I came down the steps quick because my office was upstairs at that point. And I came down the steps and my husband said, how did you do? And I said, I think this is the best book I've ever written. And it took off like crazy. So I'm so happy. I'm happy that Hannah's had a nice, long, good run here. And she deserves it. She's a good character.
It's great for all ages, and we get people saying, "Oh, they make the recipes with their granddaughter or their daughter," and it's everybody's saying what the Kringles are. We should know this. It's those Danish. They call them waffle-looking things. I think it's where they have. I don't know how they make them, but is there like
it's an attachment to like a thing.
Yeah.
Like cocking gun or whatever it is. Like that.
Wow. Okay.
Or it's like a big thing. I think that's what they're going.
Yeah, I definitely need that.
Yeah, we need this in our life.
Hey, whoever you are. Yeah.
It sounds yummy.
It does.
They sound like they would go great with coffee, which would be good at the cookie jar. So
anything will go good with coffee. I think.
maybe someone floats in from Wisconsin and they bring a bag with them, and she has some, and I don't know. Let's see. And when or how did you get your writing start?
How did I start? Oh, I started when I was actually I was in college, and I decided there were these magazines. This is really a long time ago, guys, and probably nobody's as old as I am, but it was a long time ago. There were magazines that were called romance magazines. There were magazines like Intimate Stories, which weren't intimate at all, but in true romance and things like that. And I thought, I can write one of those. And so I wrote it and I sent it in, and it sold. And I went, oh my gosh, my first sale from writing. So I went out and bought a used IBM Selectric typewriter because I didn't have a good typewriter. And then I sold another one to another romance magazine. And before you knew it, I was writing. And then I ended up at Kensington Publishing, where I did a lot of things. I did Regency romances. I did regular romances. I've written so many different things. Mysteries, yes. And finally, I got started doing cozy mysteries. I like doing the cozies because it means there's no really objectionable language, and you never really see and get scared because of the murder, and I like that. And it's friendlier and kinder than some of the police procedurals. And, and I enjoy writing that much more. So,
yeah. And it really, it gives you the ability to have a much broader audience than if you were just into like scary thriller horror. Not everybody is going to be, want that, especially if
I think so. Not only that, I love the idea that there are people out there who bake with their children now because they read the books. And I think that's lovely. I had one lady come up to me at a book signing saying, my daughter's teaching me how to bake. She read it in your book. I'm like, really? Oh my gosh, this is like an 8-year-old who's teaching her how to bake.
They need to learn
this
early.
Is why I want to keep doing this,
And we get a lot of storyline questions and things like that. And I think, your audience has grown so much now, and we have the Facebook, and we have your Instagram, and we have your website. And somebody asked where they can write you. They can write you on joannefluke.com. There's a contact me form. We would love to have the community help each other out. So if there are questions, there will definitely be someone there that can help you quicker and maybe even better because the fans are very, very in tune and very, we're always on to the next one and the next one. And so I hope everybody can reach out to each other. Kensington address, if you write in, we can look that up. If you look on Kensington's, thank you, they put it up there for us. Thank you, Mysterious Galaxy. So just wanted to throw all of that out there. And we try to get back to everybody, but there comes a point where that is difficult. And so we try to pop on and say hi and, keep you up to date. And please, if, go on Facebook and when you make some of these new recipes and let us know, or go on Instagram. We're always searching for things to post, in her community on her Instagram page with, we kind of have a little format that we do one where it's just a photo of the food, and then we do one with the book, and we try to, incorporate everybody in there. And it's about the fans and their involvement with the recipes. And so that's what we like to encourage on there. So just wanted to.
Without the fans, without the Hannah fans, where would it be? Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yeah. And it's, and people give each other suggestions and tips, and you see what they've done. And last question. Okay. He's back.
He's back.
Is there going to be, I know this is probably.
He's telling us our time is expired.
Yeah. Is there going to be a book in between? Are we going to have a novella or a Christmas book or anything people are asking?
I don't know. I don't know yet. I honestly don't. I think the next one will be in February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we have the two things to look forward to. We've got the the Zest for Death, and on Hallmark, Murders and Mysteries, and then we
got this one.
We've got that, of course. Yes. Yeah. So I want people to be baking, taking pictures, sending that in. Other events to attend. Be sure to go on here, pre-order her signed copy. Okay, I'm done.
That's it.
I mean, if you are baking all 12 recipes and you're in the San Diego area and you need to stop by Mysterious Galaxy to pick up your copy of Pink Lemonade Cake Murder, I don't think the booksellers would say no to that.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Tami and Joanne, and to everyone who attended. Like, this was such a, excuse the pun, but a sweet event. It was really great to hear from all the fans and all the great questions, and to learn more about you and your writing process, Joanne.
Thank you.
And Tami did a great job.
She's wonderful.
Yeah, I have to like tell everyone where to go to, connect and all the promotional stuff, but you did a great job for me there. So appreciate that. But if you have any problems getting your signed and personalized copy of Pink Lemonade Cake Murder from us online, give us a call during store hours. We can help you over the phone as well and make sure you get your copy. So with that, any last thoughts or closing remarks from either of you?
Well, thank you all for listening. I really like talking to you. I wish I could meet all of you.
Thanks so much.
Yeah, they have to come to Granada Hills on, what date do we have that? I've got it on my calendar. The 21st. The 21st. Oh, that's this week. Okay, well, I'll be there.
Do you want to share any future appearances for the upcoming tour, if there are?
Well, yeah. Poison Pen, when, John?
It's Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yeah.
Poison Pen on the 24th at 6 p.m. She will be there.
24th at 6 p.m. Yes.
And then Granada Hills, California on Friday.
Yep.
Yes.
Sorry, Saturday.
At Caruso's Italian Kitchen.
Saturday. Why did I say Friday?
We're not having Italian food. Sorry, guys. No.
22nd. It's on.
Look for Mysterious Galaxy.
We will have cookies. We will have cookies.
I know I've made it completely confusing, but I did do a timeline. It is posted on her Facebook of all the events. Barnes & Noble next week. There's the launch day. There's Caruso's. There's the Poison Pen. It's all on there, and it's also on her website.
And please check that, and you'll see where I will be, and you can let me know where to go. No. Sorry about that. I get all mixed up when I say, John, where am I supposed to be?
All right.
All right. Well,
thanks for hosting it. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Matt. That was really good. Yes.
Our pleasure. We love having events like this, and it's always so great when you have such a great community behind of readers behind you. So again, thank you to everyone out there for supporting Joanne and for supporting Mysterious Galaxy and independent bookstores more broadly. Just like authors, we wouldn't be here without the readers. So thank you from the bottom of our hearts. And be sure to stay cool, and we will see you at the next event.
Thanks again, Matt.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thank you for having us.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye. You have to do something.